Okay, we're recording. So welcome. Today we are moving over to China. Trinity, can you put your phone down, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Did you find it, Colton? Colton? I almost called you Colton.
Yeah, this isn't it, right?
No, is it rice? Like white rice, brown rice?
I promise almost had. I'm going to say it doesn't look like you have any.
You gotta have rice.
No.
Okay, hold on. Got
It's
it?
hidden behind a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, so there's a couple different ways to cook rice. How do you guys think you cook rice? How do you think, Wyatt?
You rinse it off
Why?
to get bacteria off of it.
I don't do that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. And then you take like water up to here, and then you
Up
put
to
it,
here?
Yeah, first knuckle or whatever. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Oh. How do you guys cook rice?
And then you boil it.
That's what you guys do?
But like I just toss it in like a cup of water.
And then you like use a rice cooker. You throw it in.
Oh, you use a rice cooker.
Yeah.
Do you guys all have a rice cooker?
Absolutely not.
Can you cook rice just like you cook pasta? What's the difference between cooking rice and pasta?
Rice is way more absorbent.
There's some significant differences. You boil pasta, you do.
And you don't boil rice.
I do.
Rice is white and pasta is yellow.
No, white rice can be black.
That's a weird color for rice, but yeah, I wouldn't.
Have you ever seen wild rice?
Yeah.
So,
Racist.
okay, well, that's your deal.
You get the fun, right?
I do. I totally do. Okay, so I'm gonna measure 1 cup of rice. Is my rice going to produce 1 cup of cooked rice or more than that?
It'd feel like more than a cup of.
Yeah, rice usually triples, so it's gonna make about 3 cups of cooked rice.
How much water do you use?
Good question. I'm gonna answer that next.
Okay.
Well, she said black rice, and I'm like, I would.
All right, it's fine. It's fine. Let's move on.
That was so funny.
So I'm just using regular long grain white rice. This is like 99 cents at the grocery store. If you wanted short grain rice, you could buy a short grain rice. It's gonna cost a little bit more, but it's gonna make more of a sticky rice. Have you ever heard of sticky rice?
Yeah.
Okay, and it has a certain application. What? Yeah, you can make rice bowls with them. Sushi uses a sticky rice. Okay? And you can actually buy sushi rice. A longer grain rice, extra long grain rice, that's used in things like pilaf, where you want it to be light and fluffy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 cup of white rice into my pot. And now I'm gonna add 2 cups of water. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make it hot water. Some people say to bring the water to a boil first, and I should be using a liquid measure cup, but I'm not. But I did that without, I cooked rice once without bringing it to a boil first, and it turned out just fine. So I kind of stopped that, and I just put it all in 1 pot, turn it on high. You can salt this. Sometimes you can even, if you want to, use chicken or beef broth in place of the water, just to already kind of infuse the rice as it cooks. I'm just doing straight up water and rice. Now what you're looking for is for the water to start to boil. As soon as the water starts to boil, you want to reduce the heat and get the lid on it. And what's going to happen is you're going to set your timer for about 15 to 20 minutes. You hardly ever want to take the lid off. If you take the lid off, your rice is going to be kind of gummy and a little undercooked. It's just going to be not very desirable. So leave the lid on because you're basically steaming these little kernels of rice for about 20 minutes. You will know when it is completely done when you can kind of tip the pan if the lid's up and no water pools to the side. It's all just been absorbed. At that point, you're going to remove your pot from your burner, remove it from the heat, and let it just set covered for about 5 minutes or so to kind of finish absorbing any extra moisture. Then what we will do is you'll kind of lightly fluff it with a fork, make sure it's cooked through, and then we're gonna pop it right into the fridge. And the reason we do that is because we want it to get kind of cold and almost, I don't know, a little old. We don't want to use it fresh. When it's fresh, it still has all that moisture attached to it. And when I first made fried rice, I cooked the rice and then I made the fried rice, like all in the same debut. Well, Mac was like, this just is so wet. Like, it's just too wet, like, ugh. So the problem was, and it took me a while to figure out what the ingredient I was missing was, but it's old rice. You want kind of older, drier cooked rice because then it actually fries. When you make fried rice, you can't fry something that's kind of wet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get it fried or dry so it can get a little bit crispy. So I'm seeing some bubbles here. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
No, no, yes. So at this point, I want to make sure my pan is uniformly on the burner. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to reduce my heat to about a 3. Set my timer. I'm going to set it for 15 because it's a pretty shallow amount. If I were using a small saucepan, it might take a little bit more time because it's not as shallow. So what you want to watch for is any foam or rice bubbly, watery stuff coming out of the sides. If that's the case, just kind of quickly lift the lid, let a little bit of heat out, and keep that temperature going down so it can kind of calm down just a little bit, okay? Questions on what you're gonna be doing? Now, what time are we out of here?
42.
We probably don't have time for you guys to start this because you won't be able to finish it. So tomorrow, you guys are gonna be watching or making some rice and watching a video on how to make fried rice with your old rice, which you will do on Wednesday. Any questions? Okay, so that is that is rice, guys. Go ahead and make this at home and show us what you come up with. Actually, don't show us what you come up with, but make it at home and be ready to do fried rice this week, not too much longer. Bye, guys.